Did you know that TSA and Customs are quietly checking travelers' phones, not just for security, but for specific apps that can get you flagged, detained, or even denied boarding? In 2026, phone inspections at U.S. airports will be skyrocketing. It's not just about what's in your bag anymore. It's about what's in your camera roll, your messages, and your apps. One wrong swipe, one forgotten download, and you could be explaining yourself to a border agent who already thinks you're hiding something. And here's the thing. They're not just targeting illegal content. They're tracking what they call behavioral risk signals. That means a random meme, an old group chat, or a crypto app you haven't opened in years could suddenly become a reason for extra screening. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 5 app categories are getting travelers stopped, what to delete before flying, and the bonus legal phrase that can protect your privacy if an officer asks for your phone. So buckle up, because these are the digital traps airlines and border officers don't warn you about, and they're coming fast in 2026. It all starts with the one move most people make just hours before their flight. 1. The last-minute panic deletion trap. Let's start with the biggest mistake that travelers make right before they fly, and it's the one that's landing people in secondary inspection rooms faster than anything else. It's called the last-minute panic deletion trap. Here's how it happens. You're sitting at the gate, scrolling through your phone, maybe watching videos like this one, and suddenly you think, wait, what if they check my phone? You start deleting old messages, clearing photos, maybe even uninstalling a few apps just to be safe. But here's what no one tells you. That sudden burst of deleting activity is exactly what gets flagged. Airport security systems, especially at international terminals, now use something called behavioral data analytics. That means they're not just scanning bags anymore, they're watching patterns in phone usage connected to passengers before boarding. If your phone suddenly shows large-scale deletions, factory resets, or unusual app removals right before takeoff, it gets flagged as high risk. And you know who shows those patterns the most? Nervous travelers who are just trying to clean up before flying. Let me give you a real example. A woman heading to London for a conference deleted a folder of old university protest photos just an hour before her flight. She thought she was being cautious, but the system detected a huge deletion spike tied to her Wi-Fi login. She was pulled aside at customs, questioned for nearly 10 hours, and almost lost her visa renewal. The irony? The content she deleted wasn't even suspicious. It was the deletion itself that set off alarms. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Airport cybersecurity tools and border agencies are now testing digital forensics software originally designed for law enforcement. These programs can detect and recover deleted content up to 90 days old, even if you think it's gone. They also track deletion velocity, meaning how fast and how much you erase data in a short period. To them, that looks like digital evidence tampering. So, how do you protect yourself? Start your digital cleanup at least 30 days before any international trip. Delete gradually, one category per day, instead of nuking everything at once. That creates a normal usage pattern instead of a red flag. Next, don't rely on iCloud or Google Drive for your backup. Use an encrypted storage service like Proton Drive or Sync.com, which keeps your personal data out of reach even if your phone gets searched. Once it's backed up, do a full factory reset 3 days before your flight. Then reinstall only essential apps, airline check-in, maps, translation, and your hotel booking app. If that sounds extreme, think of it like packing your carry-on. You wouldn't throw everything into a bag last minute and hope security doesn't care. You'd organize it carefully. The same logic applies to your phone. And here's a pro-level travel move. Use a secondary device, a cheap smartphone or tablet just for travel. That way, if customs does demand access, there's nothing personal to find. Your main phone, with all your private messages, banking apps, and photos, stays at home or locked in your luggage. Finally, here's the phrase that can protect you if you ever get cornered by a border officer who insists on access to your phone. I'm happy to comply with lawful instructions, but I'd like a written record of this request. That one sentence does 2 powerful things. It tells the officer you're not refusing, but it also creates a paper trail. Once they know their actions will be documented, they tend to tread very carefully. Bottom line, don't panic delete. The system is designed to make you nervous, because nervous travelers make mistakes. Start early, clean smart, and travel with a phone that's already calm, not suspicious. Because the second they see that sudden burst of deletions, you've basically waved a digital red flag that says, "Search me." Number 2, the hidden app, red flag, crypto, VPNs, and old messaging apps. Here's where things get tricky, literally hiding in plain sight on your home screen. Most travelers don't realize that some of the safest-looking apps on their phones are now among the most scrutinized by customs officers. In 2026, phone inspections are shifting from what you're carrying to what your phone says about you. And apps, especially old, forgotten ones, paint that picture instantly. Officers aren't guessing. They're using what's called app profile scanning. These systems automatically categorize every installed app on your phone the moment it's plugged into a device or mirrored for inspection. So what's raising red flags right now? 3 major categories: cryptocurrency wallets and trading apps. Anything linked to offshore finance or blockchain activity. Encrypted messaging apps. Telegram, Signal, Wicker, Threema, even if you downloaded them once and never use them again. VPN or privacy tools, the ones that hide your IP address or route data internationally. You might be thinking, but those are legal. Absolutely, but legality isn't the point. The confusion is, when an officer doesn't immediately understand why that app is there, you become a person of interest. One businessman found that out the hard way when he was questioned for 4 hours over a VPN app he'd installed during a work trip in China 2 years earlier. The officer wanted proof it wasn't for concealing communications. There was nothing illegal about it. It just wasn't explained fast enough. And it's not just individuals. Under new US-UK travel data sharing programs launching in 2026, border systems will automatically flag certain apps tied to international privacy networks. That means you could be questioned in the US because of an app you downloaded overseas months ago. So, what should you do before you fly? First, scroll through your full app library, not just your home screen. On iPhones, open Settings, then General, then iPhone Storage. On Android, check Settings, Arrow Apps, Arrow Installed Apps. Sort them by last used. Anything older than 6 months? Delete it. Next, focus on categories that look unexplainable. A VPN you can't remember setting up, an old crypto tracker, or a foreign language app store icon. If you can't instantly explain its purpose in one sentence, it's safer to remove it. And before you delete, sign out properly. A partial deletion still leaves ghost data in system backups. Exactly what forensic tools look for. Use the in-app, delete account, or deactivate options before uninstalling, so nothing remains recoverable later. For seniors and frequent travelers, there's another hidden trap: health and medication tracking apps. These are totally fine to keep, but review the content inside them. Many automatically store photos of prescriptions or barcodes from pharmacy receipts, which can appear suspicious if misread as controlled substances. Screenshot the important parts, delete the rest. One bonus move: after cleanup, go to your phone's App Store Arrow purchased list and hide any apps you've deleted. That prevents them from showing up in your purchase history if officers scroll through. In short, it's not about whether you have something to hide. It's about staying one step ahead of confusion. Because in 2026, your phone isn't just a device, it's your digital passport. And that brings us to something even more deceptive: photos. Not the ones you think are risky, but the ones that seem totally harmless until a customs officer decides they're not. Number 3. Photos from sensitive or flagged locations. Now, this one might surprise you, because it's not about what you said or which apps you've downloaded. It's about the photos sitting quietly on your phone. Some from last week, others from years ago. Here's the truth. In 2026, airport and border systems are rolling out AI image recognition scanning, and that's changing everything. Customs officers no longer have to scroll manually through your gallery. The software does it for them. It scans metadata, GPS tags, and even objects in the background of photos, flagging anything that appears near sensitive locations. So, what does that mean for travelers? A photo you snapped at a construction site, airport tarmac, government building, or industrial area can be enough to land you in questioning, even if it's completely innocent. Take this real 2025 case. A European tourist was detained for 7 hours after agents found photos of a fenced-off section of an airport runway. It turned out he'd just been plane spotting, a hobby, but because the photos included runway lighting equipment and a restricted service road, it was flagged as possible surveillance imagery. He missed his connecting flight and had to file a formal statement just to clear his name. And it's not just airports. Travelers have been questioned for photos of military bases, energy plants, water facilities, data centers, and even protest marches. The AI doesn't know context. It just highlights potential national security relevance. The decision to question you comes down to the officer's interpretation. Here's where it gets worse. Even deleted photos can be recovered if your cloud backups are active. When your phone syncs automatically to iCloud or Google Photos, Every image, including ones you've deleted, stays stored in your account. That means when officers request temporary access, those images may still appear. So, what should you do before you fly? Start by searching your photo library using built-in keywords like airport, factory, government, military, or protest. Delete anything that could be misunderstood. Then, go into your recently deleted folder and clear it. Officers know to check there first. Next, strip your photo metadata. On iPhones, you can do this by opening a photo, tapping the info icon, and selecting Adjust Location to remove GPS data. On Android, use Details, remove location. There are also apps like EXIF Cleaner or Metafo that can batch wipe metadata safely. If you really want to go stealth mode, turn off significant locations in your phone settings. This feature tracks every place you visit and tags it to your photos, which can unintentionally map out your travel history. Go to Settings, Arrow Privacy, Arrow Location Services, Arrow System Services, Arrow Significant Locations, and toggle it off. And here's an insider tip. If you use photo organization apps like Google Photos or Amazon Photos, review the Places and People tabs. These automatically group photos by facial recognition and location. You don't want a customs officer scrolling through an auto-generated album titled Embassy Visit 2023. This isn't about hiding wrongdoing. It's about managing perception. You know your intentions? An algorithm doesn't. Because the sad reality is, in 2026, it's not what's true that matters at the border. It's what looks suspicious at a glance. And speaking of things that look suspicious, the next trap might be sitting in your contacts right now. A harmless nickname, a funny emoji, or an old group chat could be the reason your phone gets flagged next. Number 4. Contact names, group chats, and suspicious jokes. This one catches travelers completely off guard because it's not about what you downloaded or photographed. It's about the people in your phone. Customs officers now use software that scans your contacts, group chats, and saved nicknames for what they call behavioral markers. That means slang, emojis, or foreign numbers that look suspicious to someone who doesn't understand the context. One traveler in Detroit was detained for 5 hours because his fantasy football WhatsApp group was called Lost Compass 420. Totally harmless. But the number 420 triggered a drug-related keyword alert. Another passenger got pulled aside for a contact saved as Connect Mike. It was his accountant. In 2026, these searches will get even smarter. New AI-powered tools flag group chats that use humor, code names, or abbreviations linked to certain themes, cash, politics, or travel patterns. Officers don't care about your inside jokes. They care about patterns they don't understand. Here's how to protect yourself. 2 weeks before you travel, scroll through your contacts and rename anyone with slang, inside jokes, or emojis. Change Boss Man to Robert Hayes, Manager. Rename group chats to something dull and explainable. Book Club, Family Updates, Friends Chat. If you haven't messaged someone in a year and you can't even remember who they are, delete them. You don't want to hesitate when an officer points to a name and asks, "Who's this?" And a quick bonus tip, leave or archive large WhatsApp or Telegram groups before you travel. Old chat data can sync automatically, and you don't want outdated messages resurfacing during a border search. In short, be boring. The less your contacts look like a spy movie cast list, the faster you'll clear customs. Because what comes next isn't about who you know. It's about what you say, and that's where most travelers get blindsided. Number 5. Political conversations and social media cross-checks. Most people think this will never affect them, until it does. It's not just about what you post publicly, it's what's buried in your chats, screenshots, and old stories. In 2026, border agencies are ramping up what they call attitude screening. They're analyzing tone and keywords, not context, and software can't tell a joke from a threat. A Harvard professor missed an international conference after AI flagged a months-old political chat on her phone as security sensitive. Agents now cross-check your phone with your social media footprint, even posts you didn't make directly, but appear under your name through tags or mutual followers. So before you fly, delete old political conversations, memes, and protest photos from your apps and screenshots. Clear caches and histories. Make your accounts private, turn off tagging, and scrub bios that mention hot-button topics. CBP doesn't need probable cause to inspect your phone. If messages look hostile, that's enough for extra screening or denial of entry. This isn't about fear. It's about control. You can't change how AI interprets your words, but you can limit what it sees.